I cherished the quiet tranquility of my childhood home. It was a place where time seemed to stand still, and the worries of the world felt miles away. Nestled amidst rolling hills and whispering willows, the old farmhouse offered sanctuary from the clamour of the outside world.
The summer she turned 18, Claire's parents announced their decision to move to the city. The news hit her like a wave, crashing against the shores of her peaceful existence. The city promised new experiences, new friendships, and a world of possibilities. It was a place where dreams could be realized, but it was also a place of noise and chaos. The city, with its cacophony of sounds, awaited. It was a new chapter, a new beginning, but the echoes of her childhood oasis would always remain in her heart. The city was a whirlwind of sights, smells, and most notably, sounds. Every corner seemed to have its own unique melody, a cacophony that blended into a symphony of urban life. Traffic hummed, sirens wailed, and music blared from every storefront. The constant honking of cars, the distant wail of emergency vehicles, and the chatter of pedestrians created a never-ending soundtrack. Claire found herself overwhelmed by the constant barrage of noise. The relentless sounds seemed to follow her everywhere, making it hard to find a moment of peace. What was initially an annoyance gradually morphed into something far more intense. The noise began to seep into her daily life, affecting her mood and concentration.
Certain sounds, like the repetitive tapping on a keyboard which might seem trivial to others, or the sound of someone chewing, became unbearable for her. These noises began to trigger a visceral reaction within me. It was as if my body was rebelling against the sounds, causing an intense physical and emotional response.
One evening, while studying in a bustling cafe, Claire tried to focus amidst the background chatter and clinking of cups. A man at the next table began noisily chewing his food. The sound, though mundane, felt like nails on a chalkboard to her. The sound, seemingly innocuous to others, sent a shockwave of anger and discomfort through Claire. She could feel her patience wearing thin, her heart raced, her hands trembled, and she felt an overwhelming urge to flee. The noise was no longer just an annoyance, it was a trigger for intense anxiety. It was a terrifying and isolating experience. Claire felt trapped in a world of sound that she couldn't escape from, making her feel more alone than ever. Determined to understand what was happening, Claire confided in her doctor, who referred her to a specialist. She hoped to find answers and a way to cope with the overwhelming noise. The specialist listened patiently as Claire described her symptoms and the intense emotional and physical reactions certain sounds provoked. Claire had been struggling with these reactions for years, feeling isolated and misunderstood. After a thorough evaluation, she received a diagnosis: misophonia, a neurological condition characterized by a heightened sensitivity and negative response to specific sounds. This diagnosis was a revelation for Claire.
The diagnosis, while initially daunting, brought a sense of relief. It was a validation of her experiences, something she had been seeking for a long time. Finally, there was a name for what I had been experiencing. It was a moment of clarity and understanding.
Misophonia is not simply a matter of disliking certain sounds. It's a neurological quirk, a misfiring of the brain's auditory processing system that amplifies the perception of these sounds, making them seem much louder and more intrusive than they are to others, turning them into triggers for fight or flight responses. This can make everyday situations incredibly challenging.
Armed with this newfound understanding, Claire felt empowered to confront the challenge head-on. She knew it wouldn't be easy, but she was ready to take control of her life. Her journey to reclaim her peace had begun. With the right support and strategies, Claire was hopeful about managing her condition and living a fulfilling life.